Ladies and gentlemen, Fortnite Remix is here, and with that comes tournaments with over $1 million in prize pools. Yes, I said that. $1 million. And today, I'll be helping you get your hands on some of that prize money. I'll be going over everything in this video. I'll be going over what tournaments are here for Remix and the formats and how you can make money. And then I'll also be going over what loadouts you should hold and how you should play these tournaments, along with the new crazy zone rules, so feel free to skip to whatever part helps you the most. Shout out to Penge for being so supportive on the channel, and if you would like a chance to be shouted out in a future video, make sure to drop a like on the video and drop a comment down below, as it helps out the video a lot. Without further ado, let's jump straight into the video. Starting off the season, only a few short days away, is the Trio Cash Cups in the Solo Victory Cups. Since Trios is the major game mode and most hyped game mode, I will talk about this first. The Trio Cash Cups will take place every Wednesday and Saturday, and you'll need to be ranked gold or higher to play, and we'll have 3 hours to play 10 games. On Wednesday, round 1 will take place, and round 2 on Thursday from 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. EST. On Saturdays, round 1 will take place from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. and round 2, 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. EST. Moving on to the format, you will receive 65 points for a win and 1 point per kill. So with the new season here, it is still very placement heavy. So make sure you're playing for the end game, as the placement to kill ratio is 65 to 1, meaning you would have to get 65 eliminations to match 1 victory royale. So definitely go for the win.
The top 33 teams qualified to the finals, which was around 370 points for NA and 380 points for EU, judging by last season, but this could vary depending on how the meta plays out and how stacked the games are. Then the top 25 teams in finals make a minimum of $150 and a maximum of $4,000.
Moving on, I'm going to talk about how to find a trio if you don't have one, and what to look for in a trio. Each trio has 3 players, and each player plays their specific role. You have the IGL, which is the in-game leader, who makes all the decisions on the team and calls out the rotates and tarps the team through endgames. Then you have the Fragger, which is the best fighter on the team. The Fragger is the one who's supposed to carry the team through most of the fights and look for kill opportunities and get refreshes when needed in the endgame to help provide the team more materials or heals or better loot. Finally, you have the support player. The support player is the medic on the team that carries all the heavy healing items and rotation items and helps tarp and heal the team in the end games when needed. Each trio needs to have an IGL and a Fragger. You can choose to have another Fragger on the team or support member, but usually a support player is better, especially since kills aren't as rewarding in trios. You can find a trio through Discord servers such as Vitals or NA Scrims or Fortnite Official. You can even find them in the comments on YouTube videos like this one as well. But now I'm going to go and talk about what loadouts each member should be holding. The IGL should be holding a pump shotgun and a regular AR or burst AR, and carry crash pads or launch pads for rotation, and big pots and medkits for heals. The Fragger should hold a pump and AR or drum gun, as having a good spray weapon this season will be crucial to keep pressure on other teams, and should hold minis and big pots for heals, and a rotation item or a heal item or weapon. That's just preference. The support should hold the tac shotgun to help put extra damage as fast as possible, and an assault rifle or SMG to put pressure on teams, and big pots and the bandage cannon for heals. But what I recommend is holding a harpoon, because the harpoon is going to be very crucial for getting loot end game. You could hold the harpoon over big pots, because between the IGL and the Fragger, you're going to have plenty of shields. The bandage cannon is going to be insane. Trust me, it's definitely going to help you guys when you're trying to loot or farm and storm, or just giving the team that extra bit of health, and it will help in heal offs. Moving on to some general tips for trios is making sure you have your early game perfected, because if your teammate dies, then it's going to be a struggle to get them back, because reboot vans are only in name POIs now. So there's only roughly like 15 reboot vans on the map, which sounds like a lot, but it really isn't. A big tip to perfect your early game is to get a drop map or make your own drop map. I recommend going to Destiny Jesus Masterclass and getting a drop map off there, and then also make a loot route for your team to make sure you all stay together and you're all efficient when looting. Another tip is make sure you're doing everything you can to play for end games, as making end game as a team is what's going to allow you to qualify. So don't take unnecessary fights that are going to end up costing you heals and mats and just waste your time. I know it can be tricky not going for fights, but trust me, it's really not that worth it. Moving on to the Solo Victory Cup, if you're new to competitive, this is going to be your best chance at making your first earnings. This tournament is 2 rounds. Round 1, you will have 1 hour to play out 7 games, and the top 10,000 players on NA and the top 50 15,000 players on EU qualify to the finals, where you will have 1 hour to play 3 games, and every victory royale you get is $100. The format for this tournament is the same as the Trio Cash Cup, where you will receive 65 points for a win and 1 point per kill. So again, this is very placement heavy, so you'll want to avoid taking fights as much as possible. The best loadout for solos is definitely going to be the tactical shotgun and regular AR, and then crash pads for rotation and minis and big pots for heals. They're quick heals. You always want to make sure that you're at 100, and the tac shotgun is just going to be so good for just jumping in people's boxes end game to get a refresh, especially since it reloads super quickly and it does heavy damage. To qualify for the finals, you really only need to make 2 end games, and it's very easy to do. So don't worry if you're not a good fighter, because you can just sit in bushes or houses to avoid fights and guarantee end game. Once you make finals, you're gonna want to carry the tactical shotgun, medkits, and big pots and crash pads. You're gonna want to stay elevated and stay moving, as the moving zones move very fast. Which leads me into my next topic, is the zones. Most of you are aware the zones are extremely different. For example, 4th zone now is the size of what 7th zone was in chapter 5. Zones also take extremely long to open and close, so you'll have a lot more time to loot and rotate and make, more decisions. You won't have to rush yourself. The zones this season also pull more center than in certain directions, so playing dead side could be harder, since you'll have to keep rotating rather than just boxing up center. Which is what you're going to do around 3rd zone. You're just going to want to box up center, and you're going to keep pulling zones. So you can box up or sit in a bush in the middle of zone, and you'll end up keep pulling. Moving on to items that aren't in the competitive loot pool, I'll just leave them on screen now. And the big competitive game changer this season is vehicles. Yes, apparently vehicles are in competitive. This could change as the season progresses throughout the month, but I'm pretty sure they're here to stay, so you will want to take full advantage of that and rotate with vehicles. You can also box your vehicles up endgame to protect them from other players shooting at them, so you can use them to rotate in the endgame. Another tip I have is try not to be in the open for too long, as the chapter 2 map is very open and there's not much cover, so you can get beamed very easily, or if you take a fight, it's guaranteed that you're going to get third partied. Moving on to my next tip is upgrade benches. These are huge for competitive. These allow you to spend your mats to upgrade the gun rarity and come out with good loot every single game, and you should definitely abuse this in solos with the extra mats you have to get good loot every game. I do this in ranked every single game, and I come out with a purple pump, purple scar, and like the best loot. There are so many mats around the map that you can get, and just spam upgrade everything. My final tip is fishing. If your drop spot is close to the water, like craggy cliffs or a drop spot like that, you should definitely take full advantage of that and use the fishing spots, because floppers and slurpfish are very good heals, and you can also fish out gold pumps if you're lucky enough. Some practice methods that you can do to help your chances at earning this season is making sure you're aim training and playing scrims, but the most important thing is VOD reviewing. Since there's so many tournaments in such a short time, you need to make sure that you're not making the same mistakes every tournament, and to see those mistakes and improve yourself from making those mistakes again is VOD review. That's going to conclude today's video. I hope it was helpful, and if it was, make sure to drop a like on the video, and if you would like to see more content like this, maybe consider subscribing, as we are on our way to 3,000 subscribers. And if you would like to stay updated on the channel, make sure to join my Discord server. Link is in the description below. Without further ado, have a great rest of your day or night, and I'm out. Peace.